This episode of the T4 Show is brought to you by Netflix. Watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, or TV instantly. All streamed directly to you, saving you time, money, and hassle. For your free 30-day trial, go to netflix.com/GFQ. Hey everyone, welcome to the T4 Show, episode number 136 for April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2013. And as usual, I have my two co-hosts, the owner of the GFQ network, Andrew Zarian, and also the person distracted by MLB opening day, Colm. How you doing, Colm?
I am doing excellent, Michael. Yes, I am. I'm very excited. As you can tell, I am in my team's regalia, and I'm excited.
Andrew, he keeps glancing over to the left.
I'm not glancing over.
He's always looking to the right during the shows, but now the TV is over here, and it's clear that he's not paying attention to the T4 Show and the chat room, which is filled up quite nicely for episode number 136.
I feel bad for him. No, you know what, Michael? I feel bad. I can't get mad. He looks like he may.
He's looking to his left.
No, he just looks sad. Like he's empty inside, and he has to wear a uniform of some man to be happy.
He actually looks like that guy that caught the foul ball at the Chicago Cubs game, Steve Bartman. He looks a lot like him.
Steve Bartman wears glasses. You know what? He's a Florida resident now, Michael. So you be friendly with him.
Yeah, so is Casey Anthony.
Well, there you go.
I'm in good company with two of the most hated people in America. That's great. So we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff. Obviously, we go from gadgets to video games. We're also, towards the end of the show, going to talk about my experiment with prepaid. And I did a video over the weekend about Straight Talk. I have yet to activate the actual service, so I'm delayed a little bit. But putting up the video call, we got a pretty good response that we're going to talk about later. I think a lot of people are interested in the same things that we've, sort of like gone back and forth over the past year. Are you watching a game?
No, I'm listening to you talk about Straight Talk.
I need for you to answer me now. That's usually the way
cut off. Skype cut off. I didn't hear your question.
Oh, okay. I was saying basically that a lot of people have a good response on the video up on T4 Show videos on YouTube about their prepaid experience. And, it's going to be a good learning experience for everybody all around to see where we all end up, because I think we're all trying to get away from that dreaded contract that AT&T or Verizon have right now.
Yeah, this is something, and I'm glad that you're taking the step to do this. This is probably something that I would not do on my own. I need to see what you do and how you adjust to this new style of basically no contracts. You're going to be taking this phone or phones, because now you have an option to switch out your card as you see fit. You don't have to go to the store and let them know. So I'm glad you're doing it, and I'm excited to hear what you're going to say.
Well, let's see. You know what? We're going to go to it right now since we've already delved into it that much. I have a Nokia Lumia 820. And, it's kind of like a dual review. I'm reviewing the device. I have the wireless charger over here. And also I'm going to review this using the Straight Talk service. Now, the thing about the phone is obviously the same problems that we had with the 920, that it's a great phone. The hardware is great. The expandable storage is great. And also you can replace the battery. It does have a removable back cover like your Galaxy Note 2. But it's the same thing. It's great. There's some good things about it, but it just doesn't do what the iOS and Android platforms do. So as much as I'm still tempted by Windows Phone.
Why do you say that, though?
Why do I say that? Because it lacks a very good navigation app. That's number one for me, especially traveling. And also, just like Android, more times than not, I'm not saying your Note 2, but more times than not, it cannot stand up to the camera on the iPhone 5 or even the 4S.
Okay, that is reasonable.
But the important part about this is not so much the device, which I think is a great first smartphone for a lot of people, especially at the price point. But the prepaid part of it, the Straight Talk service, which I'll activate for the $45 for the next 30 days. And I'm very curious to see how that works. Now, I've wanted to go as far, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about, since you're not really using it anymore. I wanted to go as far as to order a Nexus 4 or get a Nexus 4 because then I can go back and forth between Straight Talk on AT&T, the T-Mobile prepaid service, even Simple Mobile, and really expand out with a penta-band phone like the Nexus 4 onto all the GSM prepaid carriers.
Right. Yeah. So that is now going to be you're dead set on that's the phone you think you're going to travel through this like experiment.
Well, I was going to ask you if you can ship me your Nexus 4.
Oh, you want it?
I may want it. I may
All
may buy it.
Well, you have to wait till, if you can wait till June, because then when I move, I want to take that, and AT&T has an amazing thing. I don't know. I mean, this is off topic, but they'll sell you this device. They'll actually give it to you where then I can take that number, have that number, and it's almost like a home phone. So then I won't need the Nexus 4 anymore.
Wait a minute. So it's going to be like a Google Voice type thing where you'll have one front-facing number, or you can switch it over to a residential line.
Yeah, I can switch it over to be my residential line, and they give you the hardware automatically. Yeah.
So you have a plan, but it'll transfer your plan over, so you're not breaking a contract, right?
Right. It's just basically the same plan as adding a line. You know what I mean? Like when I went and did when I decided I was going to get the Note 2 for business, and I went and I opened another line. I opened up like a business account thinking that's what I was supposed to do, but it was way cheaper to just use my current account and just add a line for $9.99 a month. I don't know why I did a whole nother thing. I was wasting money for like a couple months. And so the guy's like, yeah. So I was paying like like an $80 bill when I could have been paying $9.99. So they want you to like expand and increase like your account and have different phone lines on it. And they're now giving you an option to have a home account that is sort of like a cell phone. So if I needed to then transfer, because you put a SIM in it, you would pull the SIM out and put it on like a Nexus 4 if I needed to take it. But you can also treat it as where you could forward all your calls to your cell phone. I mean, it is very similar, like you said, to Google Voice. But it's
getting back to the Nexus 4, you do understand that after I do the initial 30 days with the A20, that I really do have to go somewhere else, so I can't wait till June. I'll probably just order the Nexus 4, which I know they're gonna have the Nexus 5 coming out and stuff, but I still think the Nexus 4 I've been playing with it at the T-Mobile store when I go to the mall. I think it's a pretty impressive device for the price point. We've talked about it many episodes. I feel like it'll be an excellent backup phone, but maybe even a good daily driver, especially using something like this, or the T-Mobile $30 a month plan with a Google Voice app like Groove IP. I mean, there's different ways to go. That's why this video series is sort of like to unconfuse us as well as the people that are watching and listening, because it is a bunch of different workarounds that can get confusing.
But Michael, I know we've been on the road together, for a couple times now. Yeah, we were on the road. I mean, we were working PAX East. We worked Disney. So the hard life on the road that we've both had. I know how. I think the 4G is going to be a problem for you, to be honest.
The lack of LTE.
I think the lack of LTE, with knowing how much you rely. Like, I've seen you and been out with you all day while we're working a con or something, and you rely heavily on going to your phone, checking updates, posting out things, finding out what things are.
HSPA. I don't have an LTE device. I have an HPA device. HSPA device.
You have?
Oh, no, I have the iPhone 4S.
You never got. That's right.
I never got LTE.
You never got LTE. All right, you've never experienced it. You're fine.
Is that your thing? Just
ignorance is bliss.
Bother,
yeah.
Do not even bother to get an LTE device because it'll be over. I'll stay with AT&T forever. That's what you're saying.
It's like when I went to go see the iPad that had Retina display, I knew that if I saw it, it would be over and I could never go back, and that's what happened. Unlike
what
you.
What is that?
What is that?
Oh. Well, apparently the Chrome browser has the hover function. When you hover over a video, it just automatically comes on in the little tiles on YouTube. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. That browser.
Did you see on a side note, did you see YouTube's stupid April Fool's joke that's going on right now? I mean, it's genius and stupid at the same time.
What, they're taking down all the videos?
No, they have a live stream that I believe last time I checked at one point had 18,000 people watching it live. Two actors in front of like a podium with a step and repeat, and they're just reading off names of YouTube videos and the descriptions written, and then it says that they're going to pick every video is eligible. So many of our YouTube videos are eligible, and they're going to pick a winner. And they're just going back and forth, just reading.
Win what?
And they have like a stack of nomination cards, like everywhere.
Win what?
It doesn't say. It's part of the whole joke, the whole gimmick.
Oh, I understand.
Right.
Okay, so getting back to that, to the LTE thing, basically, I haven't never had an LTE device outside of the iPad Mini, and I haven't done anything with that. The only time I experienced LTE is when we did Disney. I understand that was amazing, the Verizon LTE to run our live show like what we're doing here at gfq.com live. It's pretty amazing, but I don't know if it's amazing enough to sign up for another 2 years and spend twice, if not a little bit more than twice, of the monthly rate that this would give me, or even the T-Mobile service.
Well, to be honest with you, Michael, the LTE feels like you have home internet when you're out mobile. So if you really want that, which I've gotten so accustomed to having everything so instant, and I mean, it makes having Google Now and everything so instant that I can't go back. I mean, that's what was the biggest problem with me with the Nexus 4, is that it's just like, why would I grab this phone that's like inferior to the phone that I had that was LTE? So I was watching the president's race. I was watching it. They have a new president. It's President.
To kind of segue away from Colm's baseball, I actually, unfortunately, I don't have a camera on me, but I just got the BlackBerry Z10 courtesy of AT&T, and I don't know what's going on with this thing. It is not powering on. I've had it plugged in to charge for about 30 minutes now, and nothing. I can't get it to turn on.
So I assume that we can't ask you your thought. Well, we could ask you your thoughts on the device so far.
Well, so far, it's been a miserable experience because the thing showed up filthy, covered in just oil and crumbs, and the screen has scratches all over the place.
Wow.
I've never, and I've gotten maybe 7 or 8 phones from AT&T for review. This thing was destroyed.
That's amazing. I mean, you think they would put their best foot forward to try to, especially for reviewers.
You know what? I don't think they know.
I know Z10 would be something you would. I'm interested to hear about it because it's a completely different experience. I have never seen one in person, and I've never experienced the UI. So disappointing. Do you think you might have a bad battery?
Well, in all fairness to AT&T, I don't think they know there's something wrong. Generally, they give it to reviewers, and then they get it. And it's the reviewer's job to make sure it's in the same condition, and the battery's supposed to be charged and wiped out when you return it back to them. So all the data needs to be wiped, and the battery needs to be fully charged. And who knows, what miserable, tech blogger had this?
Oh God!
They probably just they killed the battery, and it's filthy.
I hope you sprayed it down with you spray yourself down with hand sanitizer and Febreze and all that stuff, because I've seen some of these people. That's just awful.
No, that was the first thing I did. I sprayed it with like special glass cleaner. I cleaned the whole thing up, but I can't get it to power up. It's doing this weird thing when I hit the power button. It says equals, and then it shows an empty battery with a lightning going through it, but it will not charge it.
I said that before. I don't know about the equals thing, but basically when you have your iPhone 4S or iPhone 5, it will give you that, that empty battery with the lightning thing, basically meaning the battery is getting charged, but you cannot use the device yet. That's my guess.
I mean, 30 minutes though, Michael. 30 minutes has been charging.
And you can't even turn it on when it's plugged in.
Yeah, I can't turn it on when it's plugged in.
That is weird.
Sounds like a great device, Rim.
Sounds like Andrew now has caught my 3% bug or curse as of now. That's what it sounds like. His camera doesn't work and his phone doesn't work, so it's probably my fault. That's
I'm blaming Colm.
That's a better.
What did I do?
Better than you're just go back to watching your game, because this episode of the T4 show is finally brought to you by Netflix, and I have to say Netflix has been my go-to, because we're going to talk about in this episode called cutting the cable cord, cutting your subscription, lowering your bills, and the first step, the most essential step in my estimation and my guess, is Netflix. It's on every device. It's on the Xbox. It's on your PS3. It's on Apple TV. It's on the Roku.
It's on your 3DS. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And, it's just amazing. I can't say enough good things. Even if you're not going to cut the cord, they have original programming like House of Cards with Kevin Spacey. I've yet to
Yep.
see that. They have a ton of TV, movies. I have yet to actually experience all the content on Netflix because the only thing that I watch when I go to bed at night on Netflix is Batman Under the Red Hood. But I guess I'm
Well,
the exception to the rule.
Michael, you know what's great though? The code that we have, which is netflix.com/GFQ, is that you'll see on a lot of different shows out there, and I watch a lot of different shows. They're giving away 7-day, 14-day like free plans. This one at netflix.com/GFQ is 30 days. And it's so easy to do. Andrew and I were talking about how easy it was to sign up that we were just amazed. Like, you go, let's say you can have 30 days of all this content. If you're not satisfied, you can cancel it. It's fine. But you're not going to want to.
Yeah, this is, that's not even an option once you get used to the Netflix experience. And I, for one, this is one of the reasons I get throttled on my quote unlimited data on AT&T. And one of the reasons I'm scared to go to Straight Talk is one of my favorite things is to stream Netflix on my iPhone 4S while I'm watching, while I'm doing cardio in the gym. I like to watch different movies, different TV shows, or just the same one all the time, like Batman Under the Red Hood. But it's pretty amazing. And as we talk about MLB and all the stuff later on in episode 136 here, it's always going to be Netflix. That's the number one to go to. Nobody touches it. There are competitors, but the content does not come close to what Netflix have. And you can go to netflix.com/GFQ for your free 30-day trial and try it because you're pretty much for $8 a month. You cannot go wrong.
And Michael, one more thing with it is that being a new father and having Netflix on the Xbox is incredible. I know you've seen this, but the UI they have, as soon as you load up Netflix, it has regular Netflix and Netflix for kids. And then you just hit that button and it has like all the characters. So I'll just go with JMav and go through and he'll see the characters and he'll say the names and then we'll just click that and it'll bring up an episode and he can have whoever character he picked. So yeah, just another reason.
Yeah, they have a good parent. That's a good, I forgot about that filter for parents that they can have their kids avoid the regular, because you can default on that kids one too as well on a device.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, also if you're a fan of the GFQ networks, I mean, this code is perfect for you to go and do it. I mean, 30 days, no obligation. Do it now.
But you'll buy it. So just go ahead and put your credit card down and pay the $8 a month. That's my. I don't know anybody that doesn't have Netflix.
I did.
Do you? You do?
Yeah, me.
Oh, my parents. They're the only ones I know that don't have Netflix because I don't.
I don't.
You don't have Netflix?
No, I'm going to get it now.
Oh, we have Netflix because I forgot. I see it every time I go on to my. Yes, we do have. We share.
Notice
Netflix.
There's only two things that I watch on Netflix. That is stuff for JMav and wrestling documentaries.
Yeah, I love when I start up my Netflix and I see that. But I said netflix.com/GFQ for the free 30-day trial. And since we're on the subject, Colm, let's talk about it. Let's talk about a story that you put up on our Google Doc. And this really does go hand in hand with the Netflix and ultimately cutting the cord and not having a cable or satellite TV subscription. Talk about MLB.TV.
I'm so excited. Michael, this is a holiday type atmosphere in America, in my opinion. I think opening day is special. It doesn't matter what team you're a fan of. The opening days are always going to draw a big crowd. You're gonna get excited, blah, blah, blah. But what I wanted to talk about, and this just leads into a bigger conversation, is I feel like MLB was the first of all the major sports, and the major four, obviously football, baseball, basketball, and hockey, right? They were the first ones to really understand the evolution of with the internet and the way people view things. And they came out with the MLB app, like originally when iOS came out, right? I mean, that's one of the first ones. And it had not only is it a great score app and a way to notify you, but then they made it so for $120, basically, you can subscribe and you can watch any game. You have archived to any game. They have like their own little original content to watch, and it's on every device. It's on every device, just like Netflix. So I just hope, and this gets to the bigger question about you talking about cutting the cord, is that when is everything else going to like sort of have this model where it's like I can pay and get everything and experience what I want?
It's it's pretty unique, and the exact price on it, and not to correct you, but is $129.99 a year for the MLB.TV premium. Listen, but for the extra $20 a year, or if you want to pay in installments every month, it's $19.99 for the regular MLB.TV and $24.99 for the premium. Let's just start off with what the premium gives you that the .TV regular one does not, and I'm going to stop right there. It doesn't give you the free At-Bat 13 subscription, which is amazing on your iPhone, iPad, and also your Android device. Yep. You can watch games on your 360 and PS3. Yep. You can watch connected devices like the Roku.
Which also, let me say, those do not have just ported over UIs. Those are all UI specific to the device they're on. Okay, I just want to say it.
Home and away feeds. So I love that part because I used to love Harry Callis and I still love the Philadelphia Phillies home feed for their TV network and radio stations. They do a great job, so you can switch what announcers you want within the game.
Yeah, there's nothing better than you're working late at night or you just can't sleep one night. You throw on a Dodgers game and you get to listen to Vin Scully call a game, which I think is the greatest experience in the world. But I think he's just unbelievable.
We can differ on that. I think Harry Callis is a lot better.
No, Vin Scully is the voice of baseball.
Okay.
Andrew?
So they both, I'm going to get to this though. They both give you HD quality video, in-game highlights and stats, live game DVR control. So there you go. It's like a cable experience there where you can pause the game. Mosaic view, I assume that's all the games and it's kind of like a DirecTV Sunday ticket type view.
4 at a time.
By the way, Colm, I don't agree with the greatest announcer, Harry Carey.
Harry Carey, Skull. Well, that's a good one. That's a good one. Full game archives, audio overlay, pitch-by-pitch widget, clickable line scores, and this should be huge, and this is for both versions right here, fantasy player tracker.
Yes.
This is a great value.
Have you ever seen that?
I have not seen that.
Oh, this is great. You basically put it on fantasy track. You put it on your fantasy players. Then you get like alerts that'll pop up saying Alex Rodriguez is on deck, and then you can click it and it'll take you to that game. Or when it says so-and-so is pitching now, you can click that and it'll go to it. So for people that are constantly wanting to see stuff like that.
So notifications.
Yes, exactly.
See, this is where I'm going to teeter right here with the straight talk as opposed to a full LTE plan. When you're watching MLB.TV on a Galaxy Note 2, which I'm sure you're doing right now as we speak, that's a great experience. Plus the fact that you have such a huge battery in that device that can stream video and then replace the battery. I think that I know we're kind of jumping over that, but that's a great combination right there because baseball games are on now from 1 p.m. all the way up until tonight, Sunday night. Or
they're going all the way to like the last game probably end close to 1 o'clock in the morning. Yes.
And if you have like 2 or 3 batteries in your Note 2 and you're working or you're out on the road like you claim that you do all the time, it would be a great. Now here's a question: did they have it for Windows Phone? I didn't see any Windows Phone reference to that, and they don't have it for BlackBerry for sure.
Right. I mean, I'm sure they have a staff working on it, but I do not know if they have it out yet.
No, I don't see it in any of her connected devices. Yeah, they did a great job with the site too. If you go to MLB.TV or search for it and you go down, they actually have videos, embedded videos on the site that show you, so you don't have to think, well, what's that look like? It actually shows you what it is. And from what I can see here, this is I'm not a baseball fan, but I'm a big fan of playing MLB The Show on PS3. And I'm actually a fan of just these kinds of presentations that give you kind of like an ADD experience, like NFL Red Zone. And I think for $129.99 to have baseball basically in your pocket, on your computer, on your device, 24/7, it's a great value. Now let's ask this question. Probably the same.
So I got one for you.
Why haven't the other places? Why hasn't NFL picked up this model yet? This is amazing.
I don't get it. I feel like NHL and NBA are almost there with it. But yeah, NFL, they signed that deal, and I don't know how many years. I think it ends after this year or maybe it just ended with DirecTV, and it seems like they've been locked up with them for a while. And until that deal is over, we're not going to see anything like this. But imagine if they had an NFL app where you basically do the same model. I'll pay $130 and get every game. I mean, it's even way less games. You're getting almost like 4,000 games, I think, with this plan. But the one thing, Here's the one problem I have, though, Michael, is that I'm a Nationals fan. I cannot be out somewhere watching the Nationals game on my device. If, let's say, my wife on Saturday, I want to watch the game at 1 o'clock, then she wants to go to Costco to get stuff. I have the $130, but I cannot watch them because of stupid TV contract things that they still have in place.
I don't understand. So you're blacked out on at bat. At bat is blacked out with that game.
I cannot watch Orioles or Nationals games because they are accessible to me on TV.
Oh.
So, like where you are, you will not be able to watch Marlins games at all.
Wow, that breaks my friggin' heart.
I know. So for someone like you, it's great.
So you just need to, this is for people that have moved away from their favorite hometown cities. Like I have Philadelphia for all my sports teams. This is the ideal thing. And I think more people have done that. Now, there's not many people that still live in the town that they have their favorite team.
Well, it's also, I think baseball fans, like I get it because I'm a giant baseball fan and a fantasy nut. So I'll watch any game on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
I am not a baseball fan, but this makes me tempted to at least fill in my entertainment needs or my sport needs on TV.
Right.
Or on my computer with that, because I'll say this, we're moving tomorrow. So we're moving to a place that has just one cable company or satellite in that complex. So it's advanced cable. You probably never even heard of them. The internet speeds are pretty decent, 30 down, 3 up. Very expensive though, $70 a month. No deals, no bundles. That's worth it. If I wanted to add cable, there's no bundle onto that. It's going to be straight up $80 a month for digital basic with the expanded channels on NFL Network, all that stuff. So I'm paying $80 a month for like you talked about on What the Tech, Andrew, with Paul Thurrott. You talk about how many channels do you really? I'm maybe 10, 12 channels at the most I may watch throughout the week. There's 3 or 4 channels, Andrew, that I'll watch every day, and that's about it.
I think that's most people, right? I don't think most people are just they're watching what they watch, and that's about it. I don't think most people are watching more than 10 channels.
No, not at all. But even if I got this and Red Zone was an a la carte thing, I'm still really ahead of the game with that and Netflix and whatever else. So I don't know why the other sports, I don't know why everything is not just going the way of the apps, and hopefully we're going to see that very soon. I assume you already paid for this, right? Colm, you paid the $130.
Oh yeah, I get it every year. I think it's a.
It's on auto.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Think about this: if I took my family to the baseball game I could go to maybe 3 games and it would be $129 or more. So for me to just pay that one time, and I mean, they don't frown upon you using it with your buddies, if that's a little tip for anyone. You know what I mean?
That's what you've heard, at least.
Well, no, that's what I've heard. But I've seen it been used in practice that, hey, you and your buddies, huge baseball fans, why not split the cost? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. NFL doesn't do that. I've done it where, I've had someone I know had the NFL Sunday ticket, and I wanted to watch it at the gym on my iPad, and it said someone else was already logged in, so you can only have one person on that NFL Direct TV or the Sunday Ticket app that has Red Zone. So that kind of sucks there. But we'll see. I might actually end up getting this too, because this is a great value, and I'll force myself to become a baseball fan. Are you a baseball fan, Andrew?
I'm a Mets fan, if you consider that baseball.
I'm a Phillies fan, so I understand. I know what you mean. We're going to fight for last place this year, it looks like. Who knows?
I don't know.
And who's going to be in top of your little division?
You're going to be in first place today. That's all we can probably guarantee.
We had the best record in the major leagues last year.
Stop watching the game. I swear
Bryce
to God.
Harper's up again.
I swear to God.
This
There's
is
no
his third time
excuse
up. If
for
he
it.
gets a home run right now, it's a historic ball.
If we finish the show without you actually looking to your left and watching a game, it'll be historic. How's that?
So now there's a rule about me looking to my left. I'll look at my left. I'm looking at my left. I'm looking at my
This is
left.
the
I'm
most
looking at my left.
disrespectful thing that's ever been done to me. I just wanted to let you know that.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
Andrew, we'll go on. It's okay. Me and you are into this.
It's okay.
So go to the next story talking about, no, we talk about video games. We're going to get the BioShock Infinite. But before we do that, something I've been waiting for, something Colm's been waiting for, Andrew and probably a ton of people who are listening and watching the show, is Apple with a game controller for the iOS devices. Well, We are very disappointed to report that Apple, according to MacRumors.com, has no plans for a dedicated iOS gaming controller. So I'm going to read the article real quick. Following today's rumor, this is March 29th, 2013. Following today's rumor that Apple is quietly polling developers at this week's Game Developers Conference about support for a forthcoming gaming controller for iOS devices, the ever-reliable Jim, how do you pronounce his name? Oops.
Jim Dalrymple.
Close enough. Has quickly squashed, I should say, that report. Basically, it said long rumored and hoped for GDC 2013 has finally provided confirmation that Apple will release its own dedicated game controller. Nope. That's it. Wow. So this guy has solid connections that Apple has on numerous occasions and with 100% accuracy either confirmed or denied specific rumors. Prior to today's most recent such statement came last month when he nixed a claim of a television-related Apple media event scheduled by Apple for this month. So this is a lot of money. I believe that's being left on the table. If they came out with a dedicated iOS controller, they could kill the Vita, the 3DS, and anything else mobile gaming related. Do you agree, Colm? Do you? Hello. You there? All right, just checking.
You're pretty funny. Well, here I have two thoughts on this. On one, I think it's great if they did make a standardized controller because then you're really telling developers, okay, here's what you have to work with. These are your controls. On the flip side of that coin, you're saying you're stunting creativity and originality because you're saying these are the controls you have to use and that's what you have to target instead of all those really cool games that are just using touch, you know? So, I mean, it's hit or miss here with me. I would love to see a controller, but like we said on the last show, Mad Catz has that amazing one for Android, so I'm assuming they could do something inside of iOS. And just what I've seen with the Mocha controller, it looks like they just create their own little network of games that work for the device, and then you can find them that way. So I'm fine with a third party controlling it, the controller.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, that's like saying for the Vita or the 3DS, here's your button layout, here's your controls, here's what you can do. If you have even the 6-axis controller for PS3, there's certain boundaries they might have. Now, if they want to incorporate with and without a controller, use for it, then you have the option for the touchscreen and do all that stuff. I really do feel like it's a great idea. The phone, unless they come out with a size phone that's 5 inches or bigger, with the next iPhone 5S or 6, they're not going to be able to have the experience that you have with your Note 2 because you can get a better grip on that phone and use the touchscreen controllers a little bit better than I can with a 3.5-inch iPhone 4S screen.
Right. No, I agree with you with that. I mean, it is a better gaming device. Even so, I think the best platform or best gaming device is either the Nexus 7 or the iPad 10.
I have to go with the iPad Mini as the best gaming experience as far as holding the.
It's not Retina.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm taking a look.
I'm
taking a look on GottaBeMobile.com, and I see the Mad Catz controller, and it looks like a standard Xbox 360 Mad Catz controller. You're right, and I have to believe that this is going to be a very popular, especially with the S4 coming out with a powerful quad core that they're going to have in that, the quad core you have in your Note 2. This is going to be a very good controller, and it works over Bluetooth 4.0, so you don't have to have any dongles or anything like that, and it claims it lasts for 300 or 3,000 hours of gameplay on just 2 AA batteries. That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Yeah. So you don't think you don't think Apple's ever going to come out with an iOS controller? Do you think this?
I think it's stupid if they didn't. But it is great to the third-party market out there, so we can get some.
Why hasn't a third party come out with anything better than what the iCade has had? It's been awful with 8 games built into it. Why hasn't anybody done that?
Because no, that's what I'm saying. I think this summer when we see this Mad Catz take on the Android part, they'll probably then bring it to iOS. It's so weird that there hasn't been any good iOS type controller like that. Like the on-screen, I can't even play those games and have the on-screen joystick. It's just pointless in my opinion.
Yeah.
It does not feel good.
Well, we're on the video game subject, so let's move over.
Yes.
You had to pronounce this, the Ouya?
Yes, Michael, the Ouya is coming.
To your house.
To my house, yes. I got notified that it is being prepared for shipment. I got on the Kickstarter a long time ago. What this is the $99 Android console. They came up. It looks nice and stylish. It's nice and small, and the controller very similar to Xbox, so that's great. And from what they've shown of the games that are on the system so far, there's definitely like enough for me to justify the $99. And I'm just interested to see how this market's going to keep evolving. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Android, as we all know now, and I think that Android has the bigger potential of games taking off more than iOS.
Yeah. I'm going to read off a few of the specs and what comes in the box. It ships June 4th, according to Amazon.com. It's going to be available at Best Buy, Target, and also, obviously, order on their site. It's basically the CPU is a Tegra 3 quad core. The memory has 1 gig of RAM. The dimensions are 70. It's pretty small. It's 75 millimeters by 75 millimeters by 82 millimeters. So basically, 2.9 inches by 2.9 inches by 3.2 inches and weighs 10.5 ounces. It has 8 gigabytes of internal flash storage, expandable via USB port, which means you can plug an external drive into it. That's pretty good. Yep. 1 USB 2.0 port, so no 3.0 in there. 1 micro USB port. I assume you can plug your phone into that with some kind of connectivity. 802.11 BGN. Ethernet port. I like that, so you have a choice. And Bluetooth /output HDMI. So up to 1080p HD, but I don't know what that means. I guess it's got Bluetooth 4.0 and also it has an HDMI out. It comes with the game console, the wireless controller with removable faceplates, HDMI cable. That's a nice touch. 2 AA batteries, power adapters. So when you receive yours, Colm, you're ready to go out of the box. You don't have to go to the local CVS or whatever and pick up your batteries. You can pretty much take it out and use it, and that's it. It looks, $99 is a lot better than that Steam box, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's not. You have to keep in mind, it's not going to be able to play games like BioShock Infinite.
I meant price-wise. This is a lot better than that Piston Steam box.
Oh, yeah. See, this is, well, this gets it. This realizes, hey, there's a platform out here. We have game developers. Why not give them like a dedicated like console experience? So for $99, I think it's a very cool little toy. Because that's what I see it as, and it'll be something that I can also then play with my son when we can play like little old school type gaming type games as well. I'm pretty excited. But this is also because of, and I don't know if Andrew wants to talk about this. I don't know if they mentioned it on the show about how there's rumors going around right now that Microsoft might release a $99 console.
Yeah, but I don't know if they have a $99 console right now, right?
Yeah, the bare Xbox 360. I think the 4 gigabytes has dropped to 99 or the package.
I mean, but I heard they're going to try to make one that's like the size of like, that new Wii Mini that came out, like that small.
I don't know. I think that's going to confuse the market even more, considering it's a new Xbox and you're going to have a different experience on that. From what I've read, the intentions of the $99 device was to be something of a set-top box style consumption device. I'm not too sure. Yeah, just the apps where you wouldn't be able to play the games on there.
Yeah, if they change the design completely, it's going to confuse them before they announce the next Xbox that's coming in E3. It's going to be, I think people are confused by that Wii Mini too because it doesn't have all the features of a regular size Wii, which isn't that big to begin with. So I don't know why you needed a Wii Mini.
Well, all I have to say, Michael, is great job on not getting a Wii U because that thing is a failure. But
I haven't turned mine on either in a while.
I need to get rid of it. It's over.
So here we revisit the pattern, I call it, the Colm pattern. And I will call that episode, we'll call this episode the Colm pattern. We'll name it after you again. Okay. I get a text and say, or somebody Skypes me, I'm not going to mention any names, but he's right here. No, there he is. I can't point to the right side. So anyway, this person calls me and says, oh my God, you got to get a Wii U. It's amazing. You can't live without it. Then I say, well, what games do you have? Oh, I'm just getting married. You always get Mario. Oh, I said, I don't really like Mario that much. Well, you got to get it. You got to get it. You're stupid if you don't get it. Oh, you can control your TV. You can do your DVR. Why don't you have this yet? I was like, well, it just came out. I don't know if. And then about a week later,
extreme.
Hey, how's that Wii U working out for you?
Well, that was a little extreme version of me, but It's terrible device.
I think it's played down actually compared to the drama queen you can usually be.
I don't think it's a. Actually, you know what? It's not a terrible device. It's just they have nothing on it, and there's no software.
Here's one thing that I was half tempted by. I like the fact that with the Wii U we're talking about, that you can have someone else watch TV and you can pick the game up on your gamepad. That is amazing. I think it's great. It's not implemented all the way across the board on every game. Number two, you said, oh, because you can watch it in bed and you can plug it into your bedroom and you can lay in bed and do that. And I said, well, can't you do that with the PS Vita? Like, we'll just shut up and get one.
Oh, cool. Now I'm just yelling at you in this version.
Fast forward. No, that part of the Colm pattern. But then as you go on, I ask you about the Wii U, and you're like, yeah, you might have been right about the Wii U. It might not. Yeah, but I still like Mario. And then you'll come back a month later.
Andrew, it's awful, isn't it?
How's the now?
Mario was fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun playing Mario, but other than Mario, they have no games.
Nothing.
That's the problem. They don't have any original titles on there except for Mario.
What you described with the MLB app earlier, and we're going to go back to that for a second. What you described there was what I seen with the Wii U gamepad while watching NFL Red Zone, and it didn't even. It sort of went in that direction to make it part of a set-top box experience, but it really doesn't. That MLB app is exactly what the Wii U should be doing on the gamepad, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And MLB is not available on the Wii U.
I mean.
It says just Xbox and PS3.
Oh. But you're hearing the thing that's really scary is that GDC just ended, and you heard about. I'm trying to think of a specific game. There's a big title game that just came out, and they said they're not coming to Wii U, and it's just like, and then another one says it, and another one, and it's just, what are they going to do now? I don't know. This could be their handheld. Their 3DS is still an incredible game. I've been playing the new Luigi's Mansion. I'm not going to do a review yet, but because I haven't finished it, but that is a great handheld system. But then when it comes to their console, it's dead.
Now you should be more specific and say you have a 3DS XL.
XL, yes.
Okay, so they came out with XL not long after the 3DS, the original one. You were so mad about that.
I was.
But what I don't understand is how did they release the console with no original titles?
I don't know what it was. I think they were scared.
No, the console was a beta to begin with because they had an hour and a half to 2 hour download when you opened it up. Remember we talked about Christmas Day for kids wanting to play a Wii U? Oh, well, just sit down and sit over there in the corner for about 2 or 3 hours. It'll download this update. You'll be ready to go. I think they just wanted to rush it out for the holiday season to beat the other next-gen consoles. That's the only reason they would do that.
I want to get Andrew this link of, they just came out with a huge they came out with a video that actually shows that they're going to update the Wii U and you're going to get faster, load times. Remember, I've told you all about how it takes longer. So I'm going to give Andrew that thing and hopefully he can bring it up. They have 2 Wii U's before the update and after the update to show you how long it takes to go back to a menu. And it's like unbelievable to me that like they're showing this. That just shows how not ready the system was.
Okay. Well, why don't we touch on this then? Because I have not even played this game. We're still talking about video games. But all I've seen on Twitter, on Facebook, with people I know, is these people are completely in love and eventually confused when they finish the game by BioShock Infinite.
Yes.
So you talk about that. You've been playing it with SA and Brett.
No. I was playing Borderlands with them. That was my multiplayer. This is a completely single player experience.
Oh, okay. Well, give us your review.
So BioShock Infinite, I finished it. I put in. It takes you almost 14 hours to beat it. It is. If you did not play BioShock 1, I highly recommend you play that one first because it is a BioShock game. This now, after beating it, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone because I'd love to talk to someone after they've beaten it. So after you've beaten it, if you want to talk, contact me on Twitter. But this game now, it has become officially the #1 game
I want to ruin it for everybody.
Entire life.
Can I ruin it?
Be careful. Wait. Be careful, everyone, talking to Andrew, because I told Andrew the twist in the game. So he knows because he knew he'd never going to play the game and he doesn't care. So be careful of him, everyone.
Spoiler alert.
It's all a dream.
I will not confirm or deny anything Andrew says, but because I don't want to be that person. But you right now, this is a game where you need to go out and buy it right now. I don't care how much it is. This is someone you need to support the developers because this game is freaking awesome. I think it's going to do well already, but I mean, there's so much I could say about it, but I don't want to ruin anyone's experience.
Is it on Steam or is he talking about Xbox 360?
It's on everything. I played it on Steam because I've gone completely. If it's on PC, I'm playing it on PC. Absolutely gorgeous. The whole art direction with it is, I love the whole. And I think this is going to be a trend, Michael, that we're going to see in 2013. Is that you know what a hireling is? Do you remember from fantasy games?
I vaguely.
Okay, so like a hireling is almost like you're like a Robin, like you're Batman and you have a Robin almost, like your sidekick. And in this game, you have Elizabeth, this girl, and she goes around and will throw you weapons and money and like interacts with you and sets things up in the world. So, and then we have Last of Us, which is coming out from Sony in June, so which is going to have that Ellen Page character that's going to be with you. So I think that's going to be a trend. But this game has it all. The combat is like no combat you've ever played before. And if you're a fan of video games, then you really need to play this. And afterwards, you'll be thinking about everything that's going on. And I can't wait to play it again now, knowing what I know. And Andrew knows, so be careful. Hello.
I'm listening. Yes. How much is it on Steam? How much is it on 360?
Okay.
It's $59.99.
It's $59.99 everywhere. I'm assuming it's going to drop in price in 2 weeks because that seems to be the trend. I was so amazed with it that a little bit more than halfway through the game, I went and bought the season pass, and the season pass is $19.99, and that gives you you get 3 DLCs for the price of 2, is what it is. They're $10 each. So I can't wait to get those because I want to go back into that world and just discover more. It has, I mean, a lot of different themes in it. It has some religious themes in it. It has some racial themes in it. Some extremisms. I mean, unbelievable. Like, it's mind blowing the amount. Like, it makes me really think about: do I waste my time on those games that are only like given like a 70 or an 80 score when I can play with games that only get 90s? And like, it was so fulfilling of a game. I couldn't stop.
Let's touch on Steam again because I have not gone ahead. I'm thinking about getting a gaming PC, but I'm still going to try to use the Mac since I have the built-in HDMI port and I can plug it in for the big picture experience. Which one do you recommend again for the controller? Because obviously I'm not going to use a keyboard for games like this and the sports games. The wireless doesn't work? It doesn't work well. I don't.
No, actually, sorry, Mike.
I want a wired one. So
okay, if you want a wired one, just go to Best Buy and just pick up the one and go to the computer section. They have the wireless and the wired one, and the new wireless one they have the black one. I heard works great, and I'm actually thinking about going to go pick that one up instead. I mean, I have a wired controller. It's not bad. I have an extension on it too. But SA showed me too that if you go in your settings of Steam, I have it now set up to launch immediately into big picture mode. And once you're in big picture mode, I mean, you can do whatever. It's just like you're using a console. So
yeah, but with the Macs, there's a certain amount of problems with the wireless version that I've heard about.
Right.
Has problems with the drivers and stuff like that. I want to try to use my Mac first, so I'm probably just better off just using the wired one for now. True?
Yeah, 100% true. I totally was not thinking, and that's the way you're going to be playing.
Stop. I mean, you got to stop watching the game.
It's not. It's a commercial right now, actually.
Oh, so you aren't watching the TV?
No, I mean, no.
How'd you know it's commercial?
It's guessing. I have alerts, notifications when commercials come on.
Yeah, I don't think the app does that. So
anyway, Irrational Games put it out. Tweet out Irrational. Let them know that we told you should go buy it.
Absolutely. So last thing, a lot of video games, a lot of video game talk in this episode of the T4 show. But this is going to be the favorite part, I think, of the chat room and the people watching and listening. We have Dungeon Hearts giveaway. We talked about it last, didn't we?
Yes, and it released this past Tuesday, same day as BioShock Infinite. I think it's on sale right now. You can buy it on Steam right now for like $2.74. So if you're not worried about doing our giveaway, you can just go and buy it right now because I think it's an amazing game. But if you want to participate in our giveaway and you're counting your cash because you're saving up to buy BioShock Infinite, or you're going to get that Netflix account at netflix.com/GFQ, you want to tweet Michael Manna or Culmination and we want you to tweet your favorite Netflix documentary. And we have at least 5 codes to give away. And if we like your submission, then Michael will let me know, and I will DM
me. This is all you.
Well, no, if they tweet me, yes, but if they're tweeting you, I can't watch it all the time. So if they tweet me, I will DM you back a Steam code, and the game will be yours. They also have a Facebook page. If you check them out at facebook.com/dungeonhearts and like them, they'd really appreciate it. I think this is a really cool game that is, yes, it's on Steam first, but it will be coming to iPad. But I think even if you don't win the giveaway, $2.74, and I think it's $5 when it's not on sale. It is an amazing game for that price, and we want to thank them.
Just a side note about the Netflix documentaries: Batman Under the Red Hood is considered to be a documentary.
Is it really?
To me it is.
Oh, to you? Well, it is the best. I think Batman's best animated. How did you feel? I didn't go. Did we talk about this? What you felt about the? Yeah, we did. About the Dark Part 1, Part 2, Dark Knight?
Oh, it's amazing. I think it's better. I actually got used to Peter Weller's voice. I hated it at first. I like it now. And it's my go-to fall asleep Batman cartoon. And believe me, I hear it every night before I go to bed. Are you watching that again? And guess what's going to happen tonight? Groundhog.
Do you ever make her put on the Red Hood? Like, while you watch it? Do you make her put on the Red Hood?
Do you have a red hood in your house to have your wife put on?
I asked you, not me.
No, I don't. Not yet.
Okay.
That's a different show. It's like for the free-for-all, whatever you're bringing up here. I don't have anything.
You don't know.
So we have this. We're going to switch the subject, okay? So Andrew put up in the Google Docs, and if Andrew can bring that site up, we got the load times. The load times being shortened via system update for the Wii U. It sure as hell couldn't be longer. So we're going to take a look at this and see what we got here. You want to take a look?
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, in my opinion, it's definitely 100% better.
Yeah, but when is this coming? When's this update coming? Here we go. We're on the site now. When's the update coming?
This spring, they said.
It is spring.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it is spring right now. All right, let's check.
I know. Well, yeah, I mean, that's how it goes.
I mean, we're talking about, like, we've seen videos on YouTube where we're talking about anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds to go from one app to the next.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest problem I have with, especially, like, I wanted to play that Lego City Undercover game.
Wow. You see that?
The Lego City Undercover game is really fun, but I hear the load times are 30 seconds between areas, and that just, like, takes you out of the experience. Yeah,
this one, I mean, it was probably a good 3-4 seconds.
I mean, the crazy part of this video is, can you believe that was what they put out as, like, the original load times?
Yeah, they're acknowledging there's a problem. I don't know why. See, I feel bad for Nintendo fans because Brett always tweets about it. You tweet about it. You always feel like you get suckered in to be guinea pigs, to be beta testers, and who knows if the Wii 2 is not going to be announced at E3. I mean, I have
really?
Sort of a tentative guess that there'll be an update to the Wii U or an updated system, because you never thought there'd be a 3DS XL, right? You were hoping, but you thought, well, we'd have this. And what was it, 5-6 months later, the XL came out?
That was crazy too. Plus, not only did I get screwed by buying the first 3DS and I got into the Ambassadors program, but then I sold it. And when I got the new one, it's not linked to my account. So I lost all those games for getting suckered at the beginning. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do this. Let's do, we have a couple minutes left in the show right now. The stories are all used up. So let's do this since we're talking about netflix.com/GFQ. What is your favorite Netflix documentary? So we can get the giveaway.
I'm going to go with Indie Game the Movie right now. Or, no, you know what? I'm going to go with King of Kong. Because I know that's on there. And I love that story about that guy who goes after the other guy for the record in Donkey Kong.
Billy Mitchell, isn't it?
Yes, Billy Mitchell. Thank you.
He lives down in South Florida where I'm moving.
Of course.
Billy Mitchell. I remember that.
Yeah, Billy Mitchell. I love it. Have you guys seen it?
I have.
I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew, definitely watch it. It's great. They make Billy Mitchell into be like the heel character, and the other guy's the baby face.
What's your favorite documentary, or what's your pick for this week, Andrew?
Cropsy.
Cropsy, I did see that. Oh, that's up in your area.
Yeah, that's in Staten Island. One of the best documentaries I've seen. Yeah.
What is this about?
It's about this girl that goes missing in Staten Island, and it's this like crazy guy, the Andre something, I forgot his name.
The Giant.
Andre the Giant, yes, that's exactly who it is. And he lives under an old insane asylum. And it's actually I'm not doing it justice, but you got to see it. It's
an urban legend.
I'll check it out.
It's an urban legend. It's an urban legend documentary because they're saying that guy was guilty and then he wasn't, Andrew, and then it's this urban legend surrounding that insane asylum, right?
Yeah, like there's an urban legend in New York where it's like a Hudson Valley thing where like kids would go camping and they would hear stories about Cropsey, and the Cropsey's like the boogeyman that lives in the forest, and it ended up being like a true story where like this guy was kidnapping kids and taking them into the forest and like doing all these awful things to them under the insane asylum.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
Look it up. It's good. I watched it on Netflix a few months ago. It's good. And mine is going to be not Batman Under the Red Hood. I'll pick that next time. Is Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's about the guy who is very overweight and decides to go on a juice fast for 30 days. And inspires other people, and it's pretty interesting to watch him go through it. He comes to America, and he also influences other people. This truck driver that probably weighed nearly 400 pounds basically came and helped him out too later on in the documentary. Now that guy is helping people in his town juice fast and live healthier lives. So it's a really, really nice documentary. Did you guys see it?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
No,
yeah, it's really good
there. That sounds good.
It has nothing to do with taking
documentaries.
the drugs that you're on either. It's a drug-free diet, so not like what you're taking with Metafast.
What? First of all, there's no drugs in Metafast. I don't know where you're getting this information from.
Okay.
My wife called Colm's last night to find out about Metafast.
Yeah, there you go. So guess what? I guess people are seeing the results and they want to hear about it.
Well, she doesn't need it. She's just probably asking for a friend, so... All right. Real quick before we got maybe 2 minutes left. Pick of the week. What's your pick of the week? Colm.
Pick of the week? Wow, you're just throwing
Might as well go back to this. I'm throwing it at you.
You're gonna have to come back to me because I didn't know that I was not. If you were
distracted by the game, you would know. I think your pick of the week is probably MLB.TV.
Yeah, pretty much MLB.TV.
All right. Yeah. What about you, Andrew? Not BlackBerry Z10?
It would have been the Z10, but now it's not.
Now it's a battery.
Yeah, I kind of threw this segment in at the last thing because I want to segue into when you put together the review show, Andrew, because my pick of the week is the Games G155. It's the gaming environment. It's the case and the screen that I described last week. I took it out. I did an update video. I've had it since October of 2011. It's still running. I mean, it's still, knock on wood, still going strong. It's outlasted the PS3 3D display, and it's gone under a lot more torture than the PS3 3D display. So around $249.99. And if you want a special edition, you can go all the way up to $390, like a Halo or Vanguard edition.
Guess what?
This thing just works great. I really do recommend it. What's that?
At the Mad Cats party I was back, it was at a bar, and in the whole back area, they just had those lined up with different games on that you could come sit down and play games with.
It's amazing.
It was pretty amazing. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, so please check that out, Andrew. Where are we going to have that up when it finally gets ready?
It should be up on the GFQ site in a week, I believe.
Okay,
yeah.
And we're going to be putting out review videos like that between me, Colm, Andrew, and the whole GFQ family of people putting up review stuff and updated reviews or even just unboxing. So look for those exclusively on GFQ. You can follow him at Culmination when he's not watching the MLB games while doing the show. You can follow Andrew at Andrew Zarian and also GFQ Network, right?
Yep, that's it.
I don't know why I always get that wrong, or I always get it right but think I'm getting it wrong. And you can follow me at Michael Manna. Tune in next Monday at 2 o'clock, episode number 137, for all the gadgets, video games, and everything that's cool and some stuff that's not so cool in technology today. But for now, for everybody here at the T4 Show, thank you and best of luck in all your distracted viewing endeavors.